Which is worse, being led on for a year or being cheated on after a year?
Being cheated on after a year.
All agreeing on that? Being cheated on after a year? Would you agree? Yeah. Okay, let's look into it. So, I would say that when you're being led on for a year, let's look at it like this. If, say, so a man is in a situation and he likes a girl, he gives her money, he gives her attention, he gives her emotional validation, and she leads him on for a year with no commitment and suddenly ghosts when she finds the guy she likes, right? He's given her a lot of things. There was no commitment. Now we go into the other side and we say that two people have come into a relationship. Without a shadow of doubt, initially there was commitment. Both people committed to each other, and for some reason, a year down the line, a mistake has happened and it hasn't worked out. Two things. He's either a pathological cheat, or they are, or she is, or something happened in a relationship that drove them to that. Now, we can understand why someone may cheat. There is no understanding why someone would lead somebody on, make them use their invested time, money, and then turn around and give them nothing, no commitment. So when you say that it's worse to be cheated on, would you still agree with that and say that? Now, it's funny that, because you know what's funny? I don't know why, only females seem to agree with that even after the explanation. And you know why I would only suggest that? Is because men don't really have that advantage. Females are the ones who have that. Women don't come and pay for men's things and take men out and give them that validation. Men, whether it's rich or thirsty men, do that for females. So it's a very normal thing for females to go and lead a man on, given whether she's interested or not. And when he's given her everything, she may not openly say, I'm not interested, but she's given enough to make him know that I'm still here. I think that is much more of a worse thing, because you've given a man nothing and he has come out with nothing. He doesn't even have a picture to show that he was with you. At least when they were in a relationship, there was a commitment. Would you not agree?
I would disagree.
But that's my opinion. But what do you think?
I've been led on for 3 years, and I've been cheated on by 3 people. Wow. And I would say being cheated on is worse.
You say being cheated on is worse. Okay, and remember, it's no right or wrong answer. That's just a perspective. So what would you say?
After a certain while of being led on, and you have to take a bit of responsibility as well, in the sense of, I've been with this man for 6 months, he doesn't want to commit, maybe I should stop talking to him. I'm not saying I take my own advice, because I don't. Because I should
She's honest.
I should really be taking that specific advice, but I know when you're in that situation, you don't want to let go, but I do feel like after a certain amount of time, you should just let go and take responsibility.
Okay.
What's worse?
Yeah.
Being cheated.
Being cheated on after a year is worse than being led on?
I think so, yeah.
For a year?
Yeah.
Okay, why'd you say that?
I mean, you've been in a year in a relationship, and the girl cheats on you. Bro, that's not
okay.
acceptable, I think.
But then what about being led on? So say, for example, you're a guy and you like a girl and you've been liking her for a year and she doesn't give you anything, but you're talking to her and she's leading you on, you give her a lot of time and attention, sometimes presents, and then after a year, she just disappears. So
that girl wasn't for you then.
No, but what I'm trying to say in terms of what commitment, do you see? So when you're in a relationship, even though before, remember, he cheated after a year, right? Or they cheated after a year. So initially, they gave you commitment. And something happened for something to go wrong. You see, when you lead somebody on, there is no commitment.
Well, it's a
what do you think
question.
about? What do you think about that? It's just a point. Yeah.
It's a difficult big question, because I don't know, man.
You're not too sure?
I'm not sure, because it's just too different.
So hearing that point, as it kind of, would you say that, because obviously before you was sure, and hearing that kind of point, as it made you kind of think a bit, oh, I'm not too sure now.
I'm not too sure now. No.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheated on.
Why is that?
Because you trust that person, you have been in a relationship with that person, and you expect them to be faithful. If you're being led on, it's hard, but you've carried on as well.
Okay.
Maybe it didn't get to the point after a year and the person disappears, then fair enough, but you wanted to get to that point as well. Whether, if he was cheating or she was cheating, it's not fair on you.
Okay. When you think about it, when you are in a relationship and someone cheats on you, or you are not in a relationship and someone is leading you on, the difference is commitment. When someone leads somebody on, they give them nothing. They mean that I can take your money, I can do whatever, and I don't have to commit anything to you. And I can just ghost you for a year. And that, I would say, is somewhat worse, in my opinion, than someone saying, okay, I've committed to you, but something's happened and I haven't been able to be faithful. Because at least there's a reason behind that. It could either be two things. He's a pathological cheat or problems has happened. With leading on, the only reason for that is you're just using me. So thinking about it after I've kind of explained it, would you still say that cheating would be the worst one? Or having thought about it, what would you say?
Still cheating.
Still cheating for you?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, would you also agree that maybe, you know, when it comes to the cheating or being led on, it can be sometimes tended to be looked as females do more of the leading on, in the terms of, I don't like him, but I'm gonna have him take me out. I'm gonna have him go on a date, and he's gonna give me a load of validation. But I have no interest on doing anything with him. But it's good for me right now.
Men can do it as well.
So which one would you say who does it the most, if you really think about it? In terms of when it comes to dating on dating apps, men are throwing themselves at women. Women are not throwing themselves at men so much.
And then they tend to ghost you because they're in too many chats. I can only speak about my experience, obviously. I think men can lead on more, and then it's like their emotions cut at a certain point, and that's it. They're done with. They're not in a relationship with you. They're talking to God knows how many more girls.
But then that's a bad thing. Do you see what I mean? Where we were saying that there's nothing been committed. Like, you're going, like, for someone to do that to you 5 times.
Yeah.
And remember, I didn't say the person cheated on you all year. They cheated on you after a year.
Still.
Do you see? So the reason why I asked the question is, you see how we've got to be trying to look at why that person did that, because there's a reason for everything rather than a reason for leading someone on. There's only one reason. Would you be more open to say that because it's difficult, maybe for you it might be harder because of, personally, but in the grand scheme of things, if we're kind of conducting ourselves and you've got young people, would you say that is one thing that we should kind of cap early on, the leading on, before we even, because you see, leading on comes before relationship.
Maybe leading on confuses you more.
Do you see what I mean? So before we've even got into a relationship of cheating, how many leading ons has happened before we even got to that? Do you see where it all starts from?
Still cheating hurts.
She ain't moving away from that cheating.
No.
I'm just saying. And understandably.
Be faithful, people.
Understandably.
Yeah, cheating, what I say.
You say cheating. Why do you think cheating is worse?
Cheating is always bad.
Okay, so let's look at this scenario. When you lead somebody on for 1 year, so let's say you like a girl, and she's playing games, and you're giving her money, you're giving her time, telling her she's beautiful, but she's giving you nothing. But you have committed. And then after a year, she disappears. Okay, and that's that one. Then you go, if we go for a relationship, at least when you're in a relationship, at the start, she committed to you. Maybe later on there was problems, but at least she committed. So which is worse? No commitment or commitment? Because when you lead somebody on, you don't commit nothing to them. But when you cheat on somebody, you have committed, but then you've gone back. Do you see what I mean? And that may be because of problems.
I know what you mean. Then I have to change my answer again.
You have to change your answer again. All right. Why is it? So would you say it's worse to be led on than cheated on, yeah?
Yeah, I would say.
My man. Thank you very much, man. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thank you.